What's up guys, Justin here with TheSketchUpEssentials.com, back with another SketchUp quick tutorial for you. So today we're going to do something a little bit different, and I'm going to teach you how to take your model and embed it in a web page. So let's go ahead and just jump into it. So there's several different reasons you might want to do this. Generally speaking, if you want to share your model, so like if you have a portfolio page, for example, and you wanted to share your models that way, you could definitely do this and kind of embed your different models in there. Another idea would be maybe if you were a teacher and you wanted to kind of create a page that illustrates some stuff. There's a lot of different reasons that you might want to do this. So if you remember, this is a model I did a while ago of the of a structure that's at the Lincoln Zoo. I believe it's in Chicago, but I thought it would be a good example of what we're going to do. And so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to export this model to the 3D warehouse. And so in order to do that, you're going to go to File, 3D Warehouse, and you're going to click Share Model. And this is going to ask if you want to purge unused items out of your model. I'd go ahead and say yes. That's not really going to affect your functionality at all. And so what that's going to do is that's going to bring up this window where you can do things like set the privacy of your model. You can set the name, description, URL. You can put hashtags in it now. What we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and call this the Lincoln Zoo structure. And we'll just call this structure from Lincoln Zoo. And if you want this to be searchable, something that people are going to find and use a whole lot of, you may want to add some more description type stuff. Let's say I wanted a URL. I could do something like for example, I could bring in an article about this structure and I could put the link in there, so I could just copy this, include the URL if I wanted to, and go ahead and click upload. And what that's going to do is that's going to take a second, but that's going to upload your model to the 3D warehouse. So I just want to make a quick note, because when I initially tried this actually didn't work. I clicked the upload button and it didn't actually do anything. I just click on it and it wouldn't really do anything. And so what I did is there's a few different things I did. I cleared the cache in my Internet Explorer, but I also came in here and I made this a component. So originally it was just kind of a group of geometry. So all I did is I came in here, I right clicked, and since it's already a component, it says edit component. But what I did is I clicked the button that said make component, and then I named it a component. And then I went back in and I did this, and I actually just right clicked here on my component, clicked on 3D warehouse, and clicked share component. And then when I went back in, it worked. So if you start having that issue, maybe give that a try. And then once you do this, what's going to happen is it's going to take a second to generate images and everything else. What it's going to do is it's going to automatically kind of generate a 3D view of this that you can click on. And when you click on it, you can click and drag and move around your model and that sort of thing. And it'll take a little while, especially depending on your internet connection speed. All right, and then once you do that, it's going to load this in your window where you can click and drag and move around this model. So you can see how I can zoom in, I can zoom out. You can click this little arrow over here to get access to some different tools like the pan tool, all of that. You can't edit the model, but this is all we want as a viewer anyway. And so what we have is we have this this model is now active in the 3D warehouse. And remember, you can set those to private if you don't want everyone to see your stuff. I don't know how that affects embedding stuff though. So I set this to public just as kind of an example. But then what you're going to do from here is now you're going to take this model and you're going to click on this little button that says embed. And you can see how when you click on this embed option, there's two different options that show up down here. There's a thumbnail and there's a 3D viewer. So the thumbnail will give you kind of a static image, but what we want is we want the 3D viewer. So if you click on that, what that's going to do is that's going to give you this HTML code that you can copy. So you just click on it, right click and click copy, and then you're going to open up your web editor and you're going to paste that in there. So in this case, I use WordPress. So I use WordPress for this, and so I've already got a post ready to go. I'm not going to teach you how to make a page or anything like that. You're going to have to figure out how to do that in your own web editor. But you can either make a page or a post in WordPress, and then all you're going to do is you're going to take that piece of code and you're just going to paste it into your editor bar right here. And so the one thing that's going to be important, at least in WordPress, is you need to make sure you're not in visual mode. You need to make sure you're in text mode. So text mode is where you come in here and you paste your actual code. in here. So if you were to do this in visual mode, then it would just show up as text. So make sure you come in here and you do that as, or make sure you come in here and you put this in the text tab, not in the visual tab. And then all we have to do, and we can go ahead and make this some bigger text up here. Then all you're going to do is you're going to do this preview. And when you preview this, you can see how if I click inside this box, it's going to do the same thing where it kind of loads everything. So it's going to sit here and it's going to load for just a second. And again, this will vary depending on your internet connection. And so there you go. Now inside your web page, you've got this window where you can actually rotate around and view your model. So, and you can do different things in here, like there's different views, like perspective views, and that sort of thing. If you have any scenes, those are probably going to show up as well. You can adjust your field of view. So you can see how as I click this, the wider field of view is allowing me to see more. So, and actually you can also click in here and select various different parts and pieces. I don't know, I don't think you can hide or anything like that, but this still gives you a bunch of different options for what you can do with your model. So leave a comment below and let me know what you thought. If you liked this video, please remember to click that like button down below. If you're new around here, remember to click that subscribe button for new SketchUp content every week. If you like what I'm doing on this channel, please consider visiting my Support Me page at TheSketchUpEssentials.com/support. As always, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this. I really appreciate it, and I will catch you in the next video. Thanks, guys.